Hi guys, it's me, just finishing again, and for this video that I will be dedicating to the holiday season in December of 2025, I shall be covering a movie that I missed on when I was a kid, and that means Ernest Saves Christmas. Yes, indeed, this movie came out well before Kirk Cameron was trying to say Christmas, or say Christmas as he puts it. But this movie it's really special to a lot of people. And I can see why. Because the movie is great. Like all the Ernest movies are, to some extent. You know, there are some parts of the movie that I find a little off. Same with this movie, but I'll get into that when I get into it. But for right now, this movie is freaking awesome. It's A plus material, or as some would say, A plus 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 material. That being said, there is one factor in this movie that is better than I think even Jim Boyer is as Ernest P. Worrell. And that being the guy that they got to play Santa Claus. Now, for those who don't know, the guy is the same guy who voiced the characters of the Sultan in the Aladdin movies. I'm not sure if he was in the sequels or not, but he was in the original. I think he was, though. I don't know about the cartoon series that came after that, but he was definitely in the first movie. Anyway, he also played the king, or the leader of the fairies, in the movie Ferngully, The Last Rainforest. And for those of you who want to know his name, it's Douglas Seal, and he is an excellent choice for Santa Claus. You know, I love him to death. He is very charismatic. He carries the Santa Claus bit very well, and he's also portrayed as being very not tired and sick of his job for 150 years, but more like he's tired of doing the job for that long and it's time to retire, which is something that I never expected from a Santa Claus ever. Because normally, whenever whenever you see a Santa Claus movie or whatever, you have this image of this character always living forever, unless some jackass knocked you off the loop by giving you a surprise attack, like in the Santa Claus movie. And by the way, that won't be the first time I reference the Santa Claus movie in this thing for Ernest Saves Christmas. But I'll get to that later too. Anyway, what it involves is Ernest being a cab driver for people to the airport and back. Now, this is mostly for children and for young adults. It's a cartoon comedy thing, because that's pretty much what he is. Ernest is pretty much a cartoon character based on a commercial ad that he did years ago. But it's really funny. It just was like 2 seconds in the whole movie. But you'll never guess what number on the cab is that he drives. Go ahead, take a wild guess. It's 6 and 9. I don't think I don't think I need to underscore how funny that is, especially in a movie that's made for children back in the 80s. That's very kind of funny, but what's even weirder is that when there's a girl at there, like, maybe 13, 14, 15 years old, he does that famous thing where he does, that, he mugs the camera. And by doing that with a little girl in the cab, and with the number 69 on top of it, it kind of gives off a very, creepy vibe to it. Especially what's happening with, the Epstein files that are going around DC and that kind of thing. So it's very kind of weird and kind of creepy. Very unlike the whole Ernest character. Which, by the way, there aren't too many characters in Ernest stories that go from movie to movie. For example, the people who played the drum kits on the side of those guys that do jokes and stuff, they're in here among many other movies, including that Ernest Gets Stupid. But yet this is another holiday that he attempts to save, and he does quite well actually. Now, I gotta admit, when he presents Santa Claus, another thing that I like about this movie is that they always refer to his big red sack as just that, Santa sack. That, you have to find Santa sack, we have to go look for Santa sack and all that. I would think that after a while, referring to the big bag as just a sack. There are many other words for it, yet there are other synonyms for that one sack or bag that they could use. Being that they're talking about an old man here, and he lost his magical sack, it sounds kind of perverted after a while. I mean, granted, it's a kids' movie, so they probably didn't want to make it too complex for the kids. But still, having the word sack all the time kind of ruins the magic for me a little bit. A little bit of the innocence, too. That and the fact that it's all red, too. You gotta wonder why it's like it's red all the time. I always thought the sack was brown, like a regular mail sack or something. But anyway, along the way, Ernest picked up a little girl, like I said, who I could have sworn was Phoebe Cates from Gremlins and from some other movies like Fast Times at Ridgemont High, but it wasn't her. It was somebody else. So yeah, there's no Rimshot in this movie, unfortunately. I like Rimshot a lot, and so anyway, we meet with this guy Santa Claus, and he's talking about finding a replacement for himself that has the same kind of charisma, good with children of all ages, smart and all that, and likes Christmas. And then right away, cuts to Mr. Jim Varney driving the cab, of course, and we assume Ralph's best is gonna be him because nobody can be as innocent and as pure-hearted as our favorite red mechanic janitor there, whatever you call him, handyman. So yeah, but it turns out that he's going for a guy by the name of Joe, I can't remember his name, but it's last name begins with C. Looking for a guy named with the initials JC. But that kind of sounds like somebody I know, but I can't quite put my finger on it. Let me think here. Oh yeah, it's Jesus Christ. Yeah, if you know this is a religious movie, that's during the holidays, this is the perfect time for you to know that. So anyway, talk about this guy Joe, and they'd be the perfect win for the new Santa Claus. And what's notable is that the guy Joe that they got to eventually replace Saint Nick, he looks almost exactly like the guy that real Santa Claus, in that he looks like a younger and taller version of him, with the beard and everything. So it's like why did you even bother putting it down? Why didn't you just make him Santa Claus to begin with? Like gonna be a very rightful heir. It's so plain obvious. Not in the movies like Arthur Christmas or something or other. At least that newer version of Santa Claus looks markedly different than the original Santa in the movie. And let's see here, yeah, in the Santa Claus movie, at least Tim Allen looks distinctive enough from the original Santa Claus that that it can be possible to pass the torch on. But meanwhile, this one just look at his son or something, or maybe a nephew or whatever. And kind of, I don't know, there. But that's not really my complaint on my part. So, anyway, they added to that. Oh yeah, and they also make it so that Tim Allen actually morphs into what you would consider Santa Claus, like the popular image of him. With the beard and with the gray hair and with the enormous belly and all that stuff. So, there's that. So it turns out he turns from a regular guy into Santa Claus by force, pretty much. But that's not what I'm worrying about. In this one, it's really, really cute. As in all versions of Santa Claus, that whenever you stop to talk to a kid, he says, let's say Judy, you want a Hawaiian when little kid shake dances, you put in your car door, your car dashboard. And you invite him out in 1971, or whatever year it was. That's really kind of cute and charming. That every other kid knows that he's Santa Claus, and that he in turn can pass on the knowledge that that of what the kid wanted for Christmas in any given year. I thought that's something really nice and cute. He also does this as adult as well, saying that, you've been a naughty boy ever since I didn't give you X gift or X Y presents or whatever the case is. We can give you your toy now. You just send a sack for it. And that's really kind of nice too. So now, there's also the part where he says, now one thing I don't like about that movie I don't think that it's noticeable in other movies, but this one's kind of noticeable. That Jim Varney, he always had the phrase, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? I had a guy who kept impregnated my cousin, one of my cousins anyway. He was a bad person, a thief, and a drug dealer, and a drug user too. So he was a very bad person in my mind, and everyone else's mind too. And he only used to say that phrase all the time, and it just stuck in my head that because I associated that phrase with that guy. That and whenever we reach at the park for like family togetherness, type exercise and whatever, he would call me brother. You know what I mean, brother? I feel like going up to the man saying, I am not your damn brother. Which weird because he really did have a brother. And he even hated him. So, with that, how yeah. So anyway, I really don't like the way anyone said that. Especially when they're in the movie that they said like every 5 minutes or so. So anyway, I think that it's all the moments I don't like a bit in. So, Santa Claus keeps going to this guy, saying that you're gonna carry my torch, you're gonna be the next Santa Claus and stuff. Meanwhile, everyone else thinks he's crazy, like a madhouse crazy. And, they actually have him arrested and put into a lockup. Now, this would be copied over in the Santa Claus and Grandma got run over by reindeer and all that, the movies and stuff. But I think that that's the first one where Santa Claus himself was actually locked up and incarcerated. The incarceration of Santa. That should be the name of the movie. But one thing that I really like is that he actually talked to all the people in lockup, you know, all the bad criminals, all the possible drug dealers, killers, rapists, assaulters, you know, all that other stuff there. And the worst criminal of all, loving Smurfs. In any case, talks to all these people, and at the end of his term in the clinic, he ends up having them all sing as Christmas Carol. That is super funny to me, to have them, all these hardened criminals and robbers and whatnot singing a song all together. That just proves how innocent and pure Santa Claus is, and how he can influence people into doing good things in nature. So that's really funny, really good holiday. And of course they would use this in the Santa Claus and stuff, but they also used the sing-along thing in Christmas Chronicles, both 1 and 2, to various degrees of effects. And it was actually really funny, really good the way that he had them singing the songs. And let's see here, also the magic gift to deal with children, and he also gets out of jail because Ernest the elves are funny because the elves play with little kids, and they go onto a port, which the guy says, no, it's Christmas, let me fly there. So, the thing of it is that if these were magical elves, and they were just kids in disguise and stuff, that would be bad news, because bad things can happen to children on flights alone. But they eventually do meet up with Ernest, and they help him out. He helps them out, recover the reindeer in the sleigh, and bring them hope in the new Santa Claus. So it's just really good that happens. Eventually, the runaway girl ends up going back to her parents, and it's an off-screen reunion, which is nice. Let's see here. Well, but yeah, the elves in the movie, they say they want to help them to escape the airport, so they say step on Elron. You know, we have to break free, and I don't know whether this is a reference to any movie character or whatever, or it could be a reference to Ron Harvard, you know, the guy that made Scientology and all that. So, I want to know if anyone knows that reference to that, whatever they're talking about there. Also, at the same point, Ernest in the same scene refers to, may the force be with you. I don't need to tell you what that is from. It's from Star Trek, right? But yeah, I know where it's very from. And it's pretty cool that he references that movie, the movie franchise. I know that kind of thing wouldn't be allowed today, because it wouldn't be like a acknowledgement that those films exist in the universe and all that other stuff. A whole bunch of legal mumbo jumbo and all that stuff. So I'm glad they were able to do this before Lucas sold the right to Star Wars to Disney and all of that other stuff. So, you know what I mean? Anyway, let's see. Jim Varney is funny. He cries out and yells. And I think that when he gets behind the wheel of the sleigh, or the yoke, if you will, he screams like a little girl, which is really funny. I believe that Jim Varney would actually scream like a little baby, like a little sissy married girl, when that happens. Let me see here. Chris Kringle does end up going with a woman at the end of the movie, which is, if you think about it too hard, you get creeped out about it. At first, you're like, oh, isn't that nice that two old people got together after this whole ordeal? But then you realize that Santa Claus, as an elderly man and whatnot, knew who this person was when she was a kid, and knew her desires and wants for Christmas. So then you're like, that's kind of creepy. I'm not going to go into pedophilia here, but that's kind of close to it. You know, that you're being watched by somebody and all that. And that when you grow up, they become your interest in you. But anyway, by the end of the movie, yeah, a sense of feeling that the new Santa Claus takes over. You know, Joe, see, takes over as Santa Claus. It's actually real heartwarming to know that he has the power to perform miracles. As per the tradition of Santa, he gives them gives money, air traffic controllers or whatever. the rule of giving them a snowstorm, which I normally hate snow. But for Christmas, I always like to have a white Christmas, a white snow-filled Christmas. That's part of the magic of Christmas. So he gives them all Christmas by his with manipulation powers. And of course, all this is because of them fighting, reuniting Santa with his sleigh and his reindeer and being lost for a while, and being chased by the police, which I feel is something that they did in the movie Elf, so that's another carryover from this movie. This movie saw a bunch of transgender the whole singing them in prison, the whole reindeer getting lost in mail services, getting chased by the coppers, the Santa being locked up, the threat of not having a thing called a Christmas for that reason. That's a pretty good start for ideas for the future for Santa Claus. So they have giving a snowstorm for the fulfill this Christmas wish, and everything is okay. And they were trying to get him into they were trying to get Josie into a TV show, and the network executives wanted him right then and there to sign a paper, a contract. But the currency in it said, no, I want you to be my placement. So it's kind of like, you don't have a choice in the matter. If you don't, you disappoint a billion kids, wherever, 1.8 billion people. So there's that. Also, for the same matter, Joe was originally a host on a kids TV show with dinosaurs. So it kind of reminded me of that scene from Mrs. Doubtfire with the dinosaur guy before Daniel got involved in the TV show company. So anyway, this is actually a pretty good movie. I'm glad that I saw it for Christmas. It was as good as the Halloween one too, and I enjoyed it. So this one and the Halloween movie were top tier for Ernest movies go. I think because the thing called guy Drago Seal did a wonderful job in being that guy, fat man, and then we did a very good feeling movie. And let's see, there was also the part that Santa Claus went by a certain name before he became Santa Claus. So he's gonna revert back to a name which must play hell with Social Security people. You got a name, then you change it, then you change it back. That's complicated with the government. Which, by the way, what would the nationality of Santa Claus be? Is he German? Is he American? Is he Scandinavian? Is he from Mars? I don't know. This movie takes it pretty good. It's very charming. And from the 80s. Like me. So yeah, I enjoyed this. I enjoyed the fact that Ernest did something to help Christmas and save it and all that. And just be a passive person. And just saying, oh, I did participate in that Christmas going in. Oh, he actually did something. He actually helped Santa Claus. He befriended him. He befriended children. He helped out with the reindeer and all that. And he helped convince the new guy into being a new Santa Claus. The neo Santa Claus, if you will. So anyway, I'm glad I saw this movie for first time on YouTube. I'll share the link for you guys on the description below. Now, what's the point now is that this is not an official YouTube movie release. Some brave soul put the entire movie on YouTube from his own, I guess, DVD collection or whatever. So, congratulations to that guy for doing that. That was a good service because YouTube is very irritating when it comes to that. You think for Christmas, or December at least, they will have all the Christmas classics on stage, but no, you have only a certain amount. So that was good. Plus, you get to see for free. And you know what I hate the most? I hate whenever they have like a free movie on there. So sometimes the actual movie itself, but then they do like a trailer, repeat it over and over again, or some guy talking about how the describing the movie and its psychological effects and whatnot of the movie itself, which kind of stinks and kind of is boring, false advertising. So yeah, I enjoyed this movie. I think you've watched my video about Ernest Saves Christmas. Definitely well worth the price of admission. I'm glad I saw it now, but I wish I saw it in the 80s or 90s. I did this for the holiday season of December in 2025 because there's no excuse for not to. It's free, it's a good movie, it's due with Christmas, the most wonderful time of the year, and they're good. And plus, the whole thing about the making it snow in the area with they're in Orlando, God's waiting room. So they should, it was a miracle that snow even occurred there. I don't know how that would affect the other areas around it as far as snowfall goes, but yeah, well, pretty fun to see it. And as such, I give this movie, as well as many few others of the Ernest genre, I guess, this a happy face seal of approval on A+++++ grade. Because it's really funny. The fact that he put some adult humor in there is funny, even though I'm sure that you can't get away with just having 2 digits on a number on a cab. But they were the most important 2 digits ever. So yeah, that was funny. It was fun. And let's see, there was the mugging, there was that he does with his drawing and stuff. See, Santa was nice. He made a few wisecracks here and there, but nothing too risque or anything. You were very much in the Santa mode. Anyway, if you guys like what you hear and you want to see more of my videos and such, Like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. And if you want, you can always, tweet me for future information on my channel stuff by calling me or texting me at 631-707-3707. Or you can comment on Twitter or X if you prefer at PNelsonPro. Also, you can get my email at jjviewingchannel@gmail.com. So, that's all. Anyone likes to room comedy movies, think some holiday movies, and that God bless the volume. It's so comedic, so physical, so it's real awesome. In fact, I remember watching this movie and seeing him doing the old lady impression, and one line he was saying that I'm gonna paraphrase a little bit by saying that two kids, good and evil, and the good one dies. So I gotta be stuck with the bad one. And that's so funny, yeah. Yeah. Have a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year's, Happy Kwanzaa, and Happy Holiday to everyone, and love you to you. Peace out, my brothers and sisters. I'll see you in the next video. All you girls, guys, and Avina saying ta-ta, cha-cha, and sayonara. Be good for goodness sake.